Hey everyone, Matthew here with another review on the Bricks by Mine channel. Today we're going to be looking at set number 75288, the 2020 AT-AT Walker. This released in 2020, like I just said, with a 1,267 pieces, ages 10 plus. And before I get any further, I'd just like to let you all know this was sent to me by the LEGO Ambassador Network for review. But all views I express in this video are my own. But yeah, let's get right onto the minifigures for this set. So here is the Luke Skywalker minifigure included in this set, and I don't think he's a new minifigure for this set per se. I think he also comes in a 4+ land speeder set, but it is still a very good minifigure, so I'm going to get his accessories out of the way. He comes with a thermal detonator, as he had in this scene, as well as his lightsaber. Very basic accessories, but yeah, this is actually a really good rendition of Luke as a pilot. However, he should have had white hands. This was after he was in the snowspeeder, and the snowspeeder pilot Luke has white gloves instead of black. Also, excuse the noise in the background. My dogs are in the room with me because they would be barking if they were not. But looking at the face print, I think the face print is very good. However, I'm one of the rare people who prefer the molded helmet, like the larger molded helmet with the goggles built in, but I don't think we're ever getting that again. So this still works well. But yes, here's the backside of his head with the goggles lifted up and kind of a smirk on his face. I definitely prefer the other side, but this one is definitely also nice to get. But that's about it for this figure. Moving on, we get two fairly generic Snowtroopers, and I'm glad we got two of these guys. I would have liked more, but knowing LEGO, I think two is more than enough. I would have liked if a battle pack or something where you can get a couple of these for maybe a bit cheaper was out at the same time as this set, but that is not the case, so it is nice to have these regardless. One complaint I do have is Snowtroopers in the past had waist capes, like cloth waist capes, and not molded, but like extended backpacks that these guys do not have, and I definitely like that more, but they still do look very good. And this was one of the first sets to introduce non-angry clone stormtroopers. So these are just two generic heads that are not clone troopers, and I think it's really good they started doing this because the angry clone just didn't make much sense. This was like 20 or 30 years after the fall of the Republic. Most of the Empire, if not all of the Empire, was not clone troopers because the clone troopers were very old because of their sped up aging, so it makes sense that they're not. These guys also get blasters, but yeah, good minifigures, can't complain there. Next up, we have two pilot stormtroopers, and these figures look phenomenal. I think these are also new for this set, but they also come to Microfighter this year in 2021, but they just look really good. I love the, I think, muted blue color. I don't remember the actual, LEGO name for that color with the dark bluish gray. I still do not love this helmet mold. It's been around for over 10 years at this point, I think, and I don't like how much of the bottom of the helmet it leaves exposed. It made more sense when they used black heads on these guys. But once again, really cool, we get two non-angry clone faces. So that's four generic stormtroopers in one set, all of whom have different heads. This one also, the one on the right here, is really cool looking. The one on the left is one of my least favorite LEGO prints of all time, along with Angry Clone. But it's still very cool to get some just unique troopers. But yeah, that's about all I have to say about these guys. They're about perfect besides the outdated helmet mold, but it still does look good. So I really don't have any complaints here. And last up is probably my favorite minifigure of the set, General Veers. He is exclusive to this set and really well done. He's got his armored vest there, continues to the back, nice. No printed legs, but I really don't think he needs them. Imperial officers have very generic, not generic, but basic uniforms, not super detail-oriented there. He's got this awesome molded helmet from, I think, the Solo movie. They used this on the Mimban Troopers. But then he's got this awesome exclusive head that looks just like the actor. And he's got a smirk on the other side. He's got his little antenna microphone there. But yeah, super good minifigure. Let's get on to some of the side builds. So here's the smaller of the two side builds in this set, and this is the E-Web cannon. Really good design on this, however, it is really missing the battery that these use. If you don't know, these would usually have a battery pack with a wire connecting to them, and that's I think the most important design part of these. So really strange that it wasn't included here, but otherwise this build is really well done. I mean, it uses the the candle element in black. It uses some guns as the feet. The arrow blade from Jago 2016 or 2015 is like the base. Some really cool parts usage here. But yeah, I mean, it also does just look good with a trooper standing there. I just really think it suffers from not having the battery pack. And then, quite honestly, my favorite build in this set, even including the AT-AT, is this speeder bike. This speeder bike looks phenomenal, and I really hope we get more builds like this. It's very simple, but it doesn't use any like pre-molded parts like past speeder bikes have, and it just feels very detail-oriented, and it's still very stable. I like to usually display this with one of the Scout Troopers, so it's kind of like a Mandalorian bike, because they do use white bikes in that show. But it also kind of works as a snow speeder bike. So yeah, the figure's hands can attach on there. I can't get this one on right now for some reason. But yep, they do attach on there, and it looks very, very good. I really have no complaints about this. It even has the cannon on the bottom and like the foot pedals. It's really good looking. And something else cool, this can actually dock into the AT-AT, which I'll show you a bit later. But yeah, let's get onto the AT-AT now. So here is the AT-AT itself, and it's kind of hard to get it all in frame here because it is very tall. But the build looks really good, and that's about where my love for this set ends. So it's a good-looking set. Don't get me wrong with that. It looks very good, but it is very unstable, and I've had it fall off my shelves multiple times in the month I've had this set. And I'm just gonna show you right now, if you do not have this like completely vertical, if you try to put it in any other pose besides when they're like, the legs are locked vertical, if you just move one of these forward a little bit and shake the table at all, it's going to fall over. Of course, not falling over now because I'm reviewing it, and when you're reviewing stuff, things don't like to cooperate, but it is, please take my word for it, it is a very unstable set. And for the $160 you pay for it, I don't think it's worth that money. Now, if it was $110, like the past AT-AT, this would be great. I could excuse some of the stability issues, but for the price you pay for this, this is the same price as modern Star Destroyers, like minifigure scale Star Destroyers, and this just does not like meet my standard for LEGO quality. I feel like they maybe should have double ratcheted the legs or done something to increase stability. They have the room for the parts there, and it feels big for like, it just feels like not a great value for what you're paying for it. So I feel like they really should have put more like research and design into making sure it's more stable. But just going around, I'll start at the legs. Now the legs are all the same, so we'll only look at one of the, oh, there we go, it fell over. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And always parts fall off. Let's zoom out a little bit. But it's very hard to keep this thing standing up. I didn't even actually adjust the legs at all there. That just happened because it falls over a lot. But yeah, let's look at one of the legs real quick so we can get up to the body, which is a little bit easier to look at. But there is this really cool design on the legs with this wire kind of thing connecting there. Yeah, okay, falling over again. It's very poorly designed, and I don't know if this is because I built it wrong, but I've gone through and like got the instructions and like checked, and I honestly just think the legs can't really support the weight of the body. If it falls over again, I honestly might take the legs off for the review. But yeah, pretty good looking on the legs. Each one is the same, so it's mirrored. You build the same leg 4 times. But moving up, it's just well detailed. You can't see too many exposed Technic. I mean, you can on the inside, but that's about it for that. And then getting up into the body, you have this really, really cool like panel build here. Lots of joint, like simulated joints throughout there. And then looking at the back, there's this nice wall panel where I will show you the first play feature I mentioned before. You can dock the speeder bike in here, and you can actually keep a minifigure on there, and it just sits in like that, and it closes up very nicely. And yeah, you can't tell it's in there at all. But let's move up a little bit further before it collapses again, and I'll show you the interior real quick. But this is one of the nicest AT-AT interiors I've seen on a walker like this, which is awesome. It has 5 seats and a spot to hold the E-Web cannon, and you can actually fit all like 5 troopers in here very comfortably. I've tried it, and it will still close up. They can hold their rifles, and it works out really well. But it's like that. You've got 3 seats on this side, and I will turn it around in just a second to show you the other side. Oh, we're gonna fall over again. Very cool Lego. But yeah, then you've got 2 seats, and if I don't drop it, if you grab the E-Web cannon, you can just place it on this little peg right here, like that, and it works really well. There's lots of space on the interior of this, which is awesome, I think. But yeah, let's get on to the head, which is probably the best designed feature of this set. So something I wanted to mention before we get too into the head, this panel up here also opens up, and there's this little knob in here that you can turn, and it releases this little like grappling hook that is designed for Luke to hold on to, and he can place the thermal detonator up in the like hull of this walker. So that's a really cool play feature. I like that it's integrated, and I like that you can really easily hide it away. But looking at the head looks fantastic. Not much else to say there, except it looks really good. I love the way this is designed with just like the black line. It looks great from all angles. I have no complaints here. It looks very expressive. It looks menacing. I currently have all of my ATSTs, the chicken walkers, kind of in storage, so I can't too easily show you what those look like in comparison to this, but it's really good. So you've got the 2 cannons underneath and the 2 heavier cannons on the sides, as well as 2 spring-loaded shooters on the bottom. But it's really well closed up, and something very cool, you can actually fit all 3 pilot minifigures in there. So let me do that real quick and I'll show you what that looks like. So here are all 3 pilots sat in there. You've got General Veers in between the 2 main pilots, and I love that you can actually fit them all in there, and there's actually a spot for all of them, like they have controls for each seat, and it still closes up very nicely. So yeah, that's about it for the build of this. It does look good, but this set is disappointing in how unstable it is, and I honestly think they should have put more time into designing the legs for this, or just some way for it to not fall down so easily, because I mean, if you just like start to pose this, it's gonna fall down. And like the legs are in the vertical position. There's just a lot of give in these joints, and I've seen them double up on those joints before, and I know they have strong ratcheted joints, so it's a little disappointing that they didn't make the design better. But yeah, I mean, overall, I'd give this set like a 6 out of 10. I think it definitely could have been better, but the side builds are really good, and it does look good. Don't get me wrong. I definitely think it looks good. But let me know what your thoughts on this set are in the comments below, and if you have picked this up, or you will. I know it's an older set at this point. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you next time.